Jared, where's your head at this morning?
I'm of a lot of different minds. I knew that this was a possibility. I hope that it wouldn't come to pass. I am angry. I am motivated. I am frustrated. I am demoralized. And I am also feeling more resolved than ever to continue this work and to continue opposing this.
There's a lot of people that feel that way, but right now there's probably a sense of despair because this is just the beginning. They're thinking back to 2016 when shockwaves went through not just the Hillary Clinton campaign, but across the United States. But even then, people had no idea that 4 years later, January 6th was coming. So right now, what are you saying to Democrats and organizers that are probably feeling a little bit punch drunk?
I think there are a couple of messages. First of all, I think we need to look reality in the face. There's a thing called the dark night of the soul in which you need to face reality and what has happened. I think the Democratic Party and the people who support it need to take a long look in the mirror and understand how we've arrived at this point. It includes a lot of magical thinking and delusions in terms of how politics works in this country and the nature of the United States of America in general. I also want to say to people who want to give up at this point, there is no actually giving up. You can put your head in the sand, you can escape from it or think that you are, but it will always keep coming after you. And there are millions of people who deserve your support and your solidarity, and people who do not have the privilege of giving up. And so as a result, I would say lick your wounds, deal with your feelings the way that they are, and pick yourself up off the ground and figure out what you're going to do next.
People are predicting that a nationwide abortion ban could be a thing. Trump has promised mass deportations. There will probably be environmental policy implications to this. I know that folks are very concerned about rollbacks to the rights of LGBTQ2S plus citizens. What are some of the things that are on your mind, or what's something that you think realistically Trump could target early on?
Well, I think we've already been told exactly what he plans to do, which is to hand over unaccountable, unchecked power to Elon Musk over the federal budget. The possibility that we could see over $2 trillion cut, which includes aid programs, disaster relief, Social Security itself. Basically, we are seeing the dismantling of the regulatory state and federal government power, except for punitive control that is going to be handed over to his corporate donors and the billionaires who fund the GOP and the Trump campaign. Basically, what we're looking at right now is a full-out assault on liberal democracy, which is something that a lot of us, myself included, have been warning about for years now. What we could see is a worst-case scenario. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, but there does need to be a resistance that needs to be put forward that isn't about aesthetics, that isn't about metaphorical social media posts, whatever it is. We are actually in the middle of a full-blown crisis, and because of that, it's time for people to get serious and figure out what they're going to do.
So you've got, I mean, the numbers here, astounding. We were just talking to a political scientist out of Alberta. She's looking at the Latino vote. She's looking at all these. I think Trump won in areas where people didn't expect him to win. I mean, and states too. I mean, a lot of these swing states, especially early returns. Watching the broadcast last night, it was all red. So you got people right now kind of figuring out where do you start, or what does this say about the American landscape? You got a bunch of Canadians kind of probably, to be honest, a little bit dumbfounded. I mean, check this out. It's worth nothing. I call it an unscientific, unofficial Twitter poll that I put out there, but we had about 4,000 people voting it yesterday. I asked my fellow Canadians if they had a vote, who'd it be for? 76% for Kamala. So you can understand. Now, I'll acknowledge there's other Canadians that would run similar Twitter polls that would be 100% Donald Trump, but still, you've got a nation up here, Canada, trying to figure out who are our neighbors. Maybe we didn't have the right read on the American fabric or where America's at right now. Does in your mind, it feels almost like a dumb question to ask, does the election reflect where America's at right now, or do you see it differently?
It absolutely does. And this is one of the unfortunate things that we should have learned a while ago. After 2016, a lot of people started reckoning with white supremacy, misogyny, and the racist history of the United States of America and what the fabric actually is. Instead, we retreated to these very conventional fictions about American exceptionalism and about how this is not who we are. It's absolutely who we are and who we have been since our founding. The question is what you do about it now. And the results have shown us this. People are not happy with the status quo as they exist. We knew this for a long time. The Democratic Party did not address that, much like a lot of the liberal parties around the world are not addressing that. They've actually become conservative. They have said, we will protect the status quo against the far right who wants to change it. That's not a winning argument, particularly in times of dissatisfaction. What needs to happen now is there needs to be a look in the mirror, a self-reflection period in which people decide, okay, do we actually believe in these principles, and do we actually want to fix these things, or are we interested in saving what actually remains of liberal democracy and not going any further forward than that? And history shows us when that happens, the far right racks up political victories and gains power and purchase, which is exactly what's happening. But unfortunately, this is who the United States of America is, and we are on a rightward trajectory, which I think anybody who wanted to be honest about it could see coming.
Jared Yates Sexton is a podcast host. He's an author. He's a political commentator. You can order his book, The Midnight Kingdom, A History of Power, Paranoia, and the Coming Crisis by visiting his website. I'm showing it to you right now at jysexton.com.